Hi guys, here we are, back episode. What is this? Are we at 20 yet?
I have no idea.
Alright, we won't
I
celebrate.
think it's usually when you hit episode 100, people
we'll celebrate
really
that,
give
right?
a crap.
Oh shit, right? Yeah.
Really make it.
It's always the people that celebrate, right? Yeah. Anyway, we're here for another sad podcast, another tribute podcast. The horror auteur, one of the masters of horror, if we must. Wes Craven passed away almost 2 weeks ago now, and we wanted to do a tribute show, being film fans and extreme horror aficionados.
Correct, and since October is going to be popping its head here in a few weeks, might as well.
October is crowning.
Yeah.
so get ready.
Might
people.
as well start a little bit early.
Unless somebody else dies, it's pretty much going to be all horror all the time. And if it's a horror person that dies, God forbid, it'll still be horror.
There you go.
So Wes Craven. Bill, you want to get us rolling on Wes Craven?
I don't know. He's made some pretty good movies.
He's made some, yeah.
He's also made some pretty bad ones.
He's made some atrocious films. Just a little quick-see about old Wes. He was only, when he was growing up, he was only allowed to see Disney films. He came from a strict religious family.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised he wasn't doing snuff films by the time and we'll get to one of those.
What is it with Disney and people?
I know, right? Yeah.
Either becoming drug addicts.
I think those were John Wayne Gacy's last words. I only saw Disney films.
Forgetting their underwear and, getting into drugs. And
what? Forgetting their underwear?
Lucy and Lindsay Lohan and all those Disney people
that's
that
right.
like to flash their cooter people.
Cooter. All of a sudden we're in a Walter Hill movie. She showed her damn cooter at me. And then somebody gets shot by James Remar. That's right. So anyway, he was only allowed to see Disney films growing up. And he never saw a real film until he was in college.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And his first film was a Fellini film. And then he went to a Bergman festival, and then he discovered Kurosawa, and
Wow.
And he said, I was almost afraid to watch American movies because the European ones were so good. Tilt my head a little with my new glasses.
And Disney movies were just so popular.
What's that?
I said Disney movies were just so popular and professional and made
exactly.
so well.
Hey, if that's the only movies you're allowed to see as a kid back then, so be it. You know what I mean? They didn't have the Star Wars.
Nothing like the Apple
Dumpling Gang. I love that movie. Tim Conway and Don Knotts, man. I love the Apple Dumpling Gang. Even the second one, and it's not very good. Shout out to my dad. He played that at his movie theater.
Well,
the Apple Dumpling Gang rides again. Wes Craven.
Now, Wes Craven.
I'd rather talk about the Apple Dumpling Gang, frankly. No, I'm sorry, Wes. I'm kidding. He became a teacher at a college. He wasn't a professor, though. And his favorite filmmakers became Luis Buñuel, Fellini, and Bergman.
Good.
And
that's good choices.
Yeah. And then he hooked up with old Sean S. Cunningham, one of the worst filmmakers on the planet. The first Friday the 13th, The House, which I never got into.
Never got in The House?
A lot of people like that.
I thought it was fun.
Didn't like it. He did some other Spring Break. The best of the Spring Break type movies, but that's, not saying anything at all. Great soundtrack, Cheap Trick, Spring Break. And he started doing a cameraman on a few hardcore porns and a lot of softcore porns and learning his craft.
See? Look at that. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Disney.
where we need to... Folks, we're changing up here.
Disney.
Yeah, right.
Turns people to... It's like Catholic school. Turns people a little bit to the dark side of the force.
We've got your pitiful friends don't know the power of Disney. Oh yes, folks, that's coming too. Just wait 2 more months. We have as you all know, we have a horror movie that we're gonna hopefully film this time next year. But I think first we're gonna do some practice. We're gonna watch some Disney.
Yep.
We're gonna shoot a couple porns, and then right into the bloody horror.
And watch some Kurosawa.
Oh yeah,
Disney, Kurosawa.
Always, yeah. I'm gonna watch Kurosawa while I'm filming a porno movie. These are a few of my favorite things. All right. blue on Wes Craven. We're blue on Wes Craven. Anyway, so he...
Seven Dildos by Anthony Francis.
Toshiro Mifune. All right. Holy shit. They wield dildos. Anyway, have sex in the rain and the mud. That was a Seven Samurai reference, everyone. I gotta learn how to use my new glasses. Forgive me, folks. Craven wanted to make a horror film, and so he got funding back when you could do it easily, and made a little ditty, a little lighthearted movie called Last House on the Left.
Oh yeah.
Which is a film that Craven even says that when he goes back and watches it now, or did, he can't believe he made it. It's so raw and real. I own it on Blu-ray, by the way, and I've seen it like 3 times in my life. It's hard to watch, but it's a good movie. Like there's a rape scene that goes on for 90 minutes. I think it's ridiculous, and then the horrific retribution scenes But it's all done in this guerrilla style, so it's all very real and ugly and early 70s. And,
it's a lot of filmmakers when they first start doing their stuff that, I don't know, some of their best work is always that style. Like you have Robert Rodriguez with El Mariachi, and that kind of just off the cuff. Okay, we're going to film this and do this, and not really, planning necessarily.
Which is great.
But those movies always seem to come off, Wow, that's pretty awesome.
I know somebody that tried to do that without planning once, and it didn't work. And then people didn't finish the movie.
That's true. And then you have them coming back and planning, and then you get stuff like Spy Kids. And
that's okay. I like Spy Kids. I won't need to own it. I mean, I might. Eventually.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh God. Okay. That was terrible. Wasn't that Taylor Lautner before he grew up and took his shirt off?
Yeah.
Anyway, Desperado.
Desperado, yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
that's good.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico wasn't that good.
I don't think it lived up to the others.
No, it didn't. But Depp was good. Back when Johnny Depp was good. He's going to be good again. Black Mass looks fantastic.
Really? I haven't seen anything on it yet.
He plays Whitey Bulger.
Okay.
The Boston criminal.
Right.
He looks just like him. Anyway, Wes Craven.
Wes Craven.
This is how we do it, folks. You know it, and you love it, and we've had no naysayers so
Wes
far.
Craven tribute, and we get to Robert Rodriguez saying Johnny Depp. What?
Yeah, we can do it.
But hey, Johnny Depp. 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but I don't know if we're there quite yet.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're not there yet. It's coming 10 years later. Yeah, that's right. That's funny. Sweet. Last House on the Left, there were protests. Audiences were appalled. They walked out. People picketed it. Well, that's what a protest is. And the only critics just blasted it. The only critic to like it was, rest in peace, Roger Ebert.
I like that guy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because at the time, critics were, it's all snobbery. This film is deeply written, and and he loved it and for what it was. And he said it's an effective piece of. And it is, and it's hard to watch, and I'm due to watch it again. I haven't watched it in quite a while. I bought the Blu-ray last year. I still haven't watched it on Blu-ray. I'm sure it looks great. Who cares about how sharp that one looks? But it's an effect. Do you like it?
I haven't seen it for a bajillion years.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't remember a whole lot about it.
It's one of those movies that make you feel dirty.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I liked it, but I'm gonna hop in the shower for a second. And I think in that it is successful.
Yeah.
I think it's a good film, and I think it belongs. It's always mentioned in the horror pantheon. And I think it's not technically a horror movie, but because it's Wes Craven and it was promoted as a horror film, it's in the horror, and so that's fine because it's truly terrifying, but in a different way. Yeah. But anyway.
It was coming around the same time, people were just throwing, booby shots and teenagers in the middle of, dumb situations where they're making dumb decisions and ending up dead by the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to see some of these other films that people were still trying to make quality film.
And he said that he based it on a Bergman film, The Virgin Spring.
All right.
Which I've only seen once in college. And can I make a confession here on the podcast? Bergman?
You're gay.
He's
No,
well, that's a given, fella.
Tony just outed himself on our pot. No,
that's not my puppy rubbing your feet under this table. Bergman. He's Ingmar Bergman. He's I see the mastery in him. I see that he is a master filmmaker. He's done like 3 great masterpieces, and the rest, that's Swedish.
3's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
You got directors out there who are still working on one.
Someday, people will like my work. So I guess
I was talking about Michael Bay, but
we got it. Woo!
I was hoping you'd bring it up. But
this has been today's Michael Bay reference. I'm not sure how I would have worked in that. Yeah, and thank you for that.
You're
I
welcome.
Appreciate it. We always need one. It's our trademark. No, I guess that was a backhanded compliment. Like, I don't like his movies, but he's a genius, and he's made 3 masterpieces, but I'm not a fan. Yeah, I guess I am. All right. I'm not a big fan as Woody Allen is.
Yeah.
Then, and by the way, because the movie was getting no play, and they were just going to throw it in a couple drive-ins and get rid of it, and because of all the Last House on the Left, by the way. This is 1972, by the by. Because of all the hype and all the protests and people, it's a demon film, and it made a fortune. They started over, and they put it in Times Square when Times Square was. I wish I would have been alive to see the Taxi Driver Times Square. You know what I mean? And I wanted to, it wasn't very safe, but man, I just wanted to experience it one time. But it played in Times Square for like 3 years at all the Grindhouse cinemas, and it was a huge hit. And they didn't even spend $300,000 on it. And to this day, it's made. I didn't write it down, but I think it's made something like 20-something million total to this day.
That's a pretty good bump.
Yeah, that's not a bad comeback on your investment there.
Yeah.
Return is the word I was looking for.
Return on your investment.
And then 5 years later, I guess he lived on that for a while. 5 years later, in '77, he did The Hills Have Eyes. I like that movie. I always have. Do you like that?
Again,
need a refresher.
Need a refresher.
I can lay.
Been a while.
Lay it on you. No, well, you know what it is.
I know what it is.
The nuclear waste desert people come and attack this family, and it's brutal. I mean, going with The Last House on the Left, it's a brutal, harsh film, man. And Dee Wallace in one of her first films, and yeah, they just chase these cannibalistic mutant people, chase this family around the desert and kill them one by one, and rape and destroy and
pillage.
Yeah, they don't even pillage. I don't think they just rape and destroy and eat, and I think it's a really cool, effective, good grindhousey horror film. I like it. I like it a lot, and that was another big hit. And it was a huge hit on the drive-in circuit. And he originally titled it Blood Relations because it was the cannibalistic family. Yeah. And the studio didn't like it, so they changed it to The Hills Have Eyes. And to his dying day, sad to say, Wes Craven never liked the title. I think it's a cool fucking title.
Yeah, it's kind of nifty. Yeah.
Blood Relations sounds like a Lifetime TV movie.
Yeah.
Where like a sister is having an affair with her cousin, and they conspire to kill the husband and get his money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blood Relations, starring Linda Evans and Robert.
That is now copyrighted, folks.
That's right.
Take that idea.
Sorry, Craven, you lost it, buddy. And then 4 years later, he took like Terrence Malick stretches in between his movies. Deadly Blessing, which is one that I barely remembered. It's 3 girls in this Amish community, and led by a very overacting, psychotic, weird-looking in an Amish beard, Ernest Borgnine. And there's, evil is afoot, and some of they're like evil Amish, and there's witches casting spells.
Well, how do we know the Amish aren't that?
It's true. It could be, yeah.
We don't know. They're some very secretive people.
They make good cheese, let me tell you.
They know how to build barns pretty
Yeah, they can. Yeah. Witness, that's a good movie.
Oh, yeah. Harrison Ford.
Harry, yeah. Deadly Blessing, it's a mixed bag, really. It has some effective horror scenes, but it's kind of... One thing about Craven, as we go on here, even as he got bigger budgets, he wasn't exactly a craftsman with his camera. And if we're talking genre, George Harrison? George Harrison of the Beatles used to make some good horror films.
Yeah, he made some great... No.
George Romero and John Carpenter. John Carpenter especially.
While my camera softly weeps.
Softly weeps. Yeah, right. While my brain softly oozes. But John Carpenter especially, his great use of widescreen and lighting, and Romero as well with the lighting. But Craven's are just kind of... Sometimes for a horror movie, I find his movies overlit. Like, it's too bright. It's a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't know. Except the one coming up in a little bit. But yeah, Deadly Blessing, mixed bag. Looks cheap. Meh. And then he did the very next year the Swamp Thing. Which I like.
I like the Swamp Thing.
Me too.
Yeah, I've always liked it.
It looks cheap.
Oh, it looks cheap, of course, but it's still...
No, it's a good movie.
I mean, the...
New World Pictures, remember them?
Wow. I think his makeup was pretty cool.
No, it was good. Adrienne Barbeau and as my father said, and her Barbuties hanging out all the time.
Yeah, some of the other mutants, give or take, but it was still a fun movie.
No, I enjoy it. Yeah, it's a good little movie. I don't love it, but
it was kind of a more serious Toxic Avenger, kind of thing. But it was right. I still enjoyed it.
No, I enjoy it. I would own Swamp Thing whenever it hits Blu-ray. Yeah. Then he did Invitation to Hell in 1984 was a big year for old Wes.
Was it?
And we'll get to our 7 degrees here in about 2 films. Invitation to Hell is a piece of shit that he did with Robert Urich. I think it was made for TV. And no offense to Robert Urich, he seemed like a nice fella, but I'm not going to cast Robert Urich in a movie where he living. It was a made-for-TV movie that the
you'll
studio...
cast him dead, though.
What's that?
I said you'll cast him dead.
Oh, I'll cast him now, yeah. The best performance ever. Vegas! Dan Tana. Wasn't that his name on Vegas? Dan Tana. Invitation to Hell was made for TV. The studio said, let's throw it out in some drive-ins. It's a piece of shit. It is. It took everything I had not to shut it off. There's a killer afoot. I don't need to even
just a killer afoot.
Yeah, piece of shit. Then he was forced to do, contractually, The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. And didn't want to do it. And so he did it haphazardly. I bought that because it was cheap, and I'm a weird completist when it comes to things like this. But I may sell it. It's really bad. It could be his worst film. Wow. It's awful. And they use a lot of footage from the original. They had to recast parts because people were gone. And like the mutants, the same people. And it's dumb and it makes no sense. And he said he walked away in the editing. He didn't want so the studio tried to fix it. It's garbage. It's horrible. And these are both 1984. But then he did one movie in 1984. His third film. 3 movies in 84. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Especially back then, when it took longer to make one.
Oh, yeah. They're actually shooting on film.
Yeah. Those were the days. Then he did his third movie in 1984 that changed everything. Always and Forever in my top 10 favorite horror films.
Hired a little ditty from a TV maid's show, V.
V? Oh, I thought you were going with the other guy. Who was in V? My wife is a big fan of V.
The original?
I do not like V. Oh, hello.
He made his
I gotcha.
debut.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Oh, that guy. What did he play in Nightmare on Elm Street? Oh, yeah. So anyway, the movie is A Nightmare on Elm Street, and he was referring to one Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who was in V that was in Nightmare?
Yeah, a little mouse-eating alien from V.
Yeah. He was the nice one, right?
Yeah. He was the curly-haired nice one.
Yeah. Till you peel the skin off. Looked better than he did in Nightmare on Elm Street. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. The house that New Line Cinema. It was a fledgling company at the time. and they became one of the big ones. And they call, to this day, they call New Line the house that Freddy built. Because, Freddy Krueger, in my opinion, one of the all-time greatest horror, inventions ever, horror characters ever invented in film. Amazing. And A Nightmare on Elm Street, an excellent movie. I give it 5 stars.
Yeah,
it's frightening.
Oh, yeah.
And he films it dark.
Yes,
as well you should, Mr. Craven.
It's still with bright moments, though.
I mean, like, one scene that I love is when he's coming down the alleyway. And his arms start to grow. And if you notice in that movie, you see his face, but you kind of don't because it's always shadowy.
Yeah, it's always shadowy.
And he still looks grotesque. Yeah, I mean, it's a scary movie. I love it. I think it's one of the all-time great horror films. The first one. One of the all-time great horror films. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's got some very good moments. And well writing. You know, the character was iconic, as you know, most people know who he is.
I think that's one word I was reaching for earlier. Yeah. I mean, Freddy, he became Jesus Christ. He became almost.
Well,
he
didn't become Jesus Christ, but
to some he did. Which reminds me, I gotta go pray to Freddy in 5 minutes. Yeah, face the east.
Which sequel was that that he became?
That'd be a good Nightmare on Elm Street, whatever, the Resurrection.
Found out that Freddy was actually Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Told you. Everybody has a Bible. Right. Read your Bible, bitch. Yeah. Freddy. I love him. But no, I think it's a great film, and it was a gigantor of a hit.
But it was nice that he was still dark. He was, like you said, they filmed him so much in shadow. I mean, it was always like you saw half his face most of the time in any one scene.
You couldn't even really tell that he was the color of his sweater. Actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, you know, his slapstick, you know, that most people think of him today.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's what people don't understand, or lest we forget, my favorite phrase. Freddy Krueger was a child molester who tortured the children at the same time. And that's why they burn him alive. The parents. I mean, and then later on he's on kids' lunchboxes. There was a Freddy cartoon. He's doing a song with the Fat Boys. You know, he's everywhere. Kids have dolls. Freddy. I'm going to sleep with Freddy tonight. You know, really? He's a child molester who tortured children while he was molesting them. Yeah, that's less we
I want to be a child molester when I grow up.
Because he had a cool hat.
I licked his claws.
Right, yeah. I still have a pair. Or not a pair, but one hand. Yeah. It's a phenomenal. I do, in the horror field, I think it's a masterpiece.
And who makes filmmaking? Nursery rhymes sound creepy.
The Candyman. Oh, no, wait, sorry.
Not that nursery rhymes aren't creepy. The underlying of nursery rhymes aren't creepy already, but
that's true. The 1-2 Freddy's coming.
Yeah, that's a pretty.
Yeah. And it's a horrific nursery rhyme. I don't remember the whole thing, but then 9, 10, never sleep again. Because if you do, you're dead. That's great. And anybody who remembers that rhyme, please let us know, because I forgot.
3, 4, better lock the door. 5, 6,
get a crucifix.
7, 8, stay up late.
9, 10, never sleep again. We got it, folks. Never mind. We know our shit.
I don't need you people.
Subtitle to our new subtitle to our widescreen. We know our shit. That was Bill's, by the way. I stole that. I mean, there's so much to say about it. And guess what? We probably will again next month during one of our mini horror podcasts. It'll come
up again.
But yeah, it's a horror masterpiece. One of the best. Always in my lower top 10. Oh, yeah. Oh, and don't forget to bring up the 7 Degrees reference.
And who else was in there?
Some kid.
7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon there. Kevin Bacon was not in it.
He's not. He was in Friday the 13th. Poor sap.
Was he the one? Did he get the thing through the throat or
he got the arrow through the throat.
Was he on the bed and the thing
no,
went through?
That's 2.
That's 2.
Yeah,
okay.
He got the arrow.
But he did get an arrow. I remember the arrow part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. But another.
I can't wait to start talking about the Friday 13th movie.
Big time actor that's kind of falling off the wagon at the moment.
He'll be back in a minute. He'll be back and this Friday.
He better. Mm-hmm. And really likes Tim Burton.
yeah. Or vice versa.
Yeah. A nice young Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that was his first movie.
Yeah.
And he was...
Didn't he get casted after doing like a music video? Or
no, he did 22 Jump Street. Or 21 Jump Street.
I thought 21 Jump Street was after.
No,
he was doing
just started.
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, just started. It was
loved him.
Yeah. Peter. Why didn't he pick up Peter DeLuise?
Peter DeLuise.
Dom's son needed a little work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the coolest death scene in the movie. The waterbed that turned into a literal bloodbath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fantastic scene.
That was some good filmmaking there, making the whole room turned over so that all that blood just
it's like a shower. It's not even a whole waterfall. Yeah.
That was
a great. Now that's what I'm saying. Craven had it in him. You know. Oh, and the creation of Freddy Krueger. Do you know the story behind it?
I've heard it, but you can refresh.
His room. He lived in a 2-story house, and his room was upstairs, and it faced his backyard. And behind the houses was an alleyway that led through the neighborhood, and they didn't live too far from the downtown area, so transients would, And one night he heard something in the trash cans, and the trash cans were directly below on the back porch until it was time to take them out, And they were directly below his window, and he looked out the window, and they always left their back porch light on. And he looked, and there was a guy in a red and green sweater, stripes, that's where he got that idea, and a fedora, a black fedora. And he kind of had a scarred burnt on one side. His face was all burnt. And he was digging through the trash. And he said, Craven said, I was frozen. I couldn't, this guy was so scary, and he was right directly below me. And he said at one point the guy just stopped and looked right up at him and put his finger to his lips and and grinned at him. And he said, Freddy was born. He said, I just got chills on the back of my neck thinking about that. Yeah, can you imagine? And I think he said he was 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I would have been like, Dad! Oh my God. But he said he was frozen with fear at the sight of this guy. And he said it wouldn't have been as frightening if he would have just shushed him. But he said, and then he grinned at him with that charred flesh. And and then Freddy was born.
Yeah.
That's really cool and creepy story, yeah. And
I don't know if I would have been able to sleep for a while.
I wouldn't have been able to sleep that night, I can assure you. That guy's going to sneak into the house and kill me. And so, Craven was, by that time, he was being, you are a new horror master. And hey, after Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, and that. And by the way, the Deadly Blessing and Swamp Thing were also hits. They weren't giant hits, but yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was playing all the everywhere. Time, so. Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street was playing it at multiplexes, which were still new in 1984. And then he fucked it up, in my opinion. There are some fans of this movie, but in my opinion, it's his second worst film. Deadly Friend.
Deadly Friend.
What's her name? Christy Swanson.
And
I don't remember the guy's name, and she's got the powers and the evil powers, and everything looks like it's shot on a cheap soundstage, and I think a lot of it was. And it's just dumb and boring and not scary, and it looks like a TV movie. Again, it's overlit, and it's garbage. I hated it. Do you remember it?
No.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, don't worry about it.
I remember the cover of it, and I think I could see it in my head, but...
There's one creepy scene, but it's not creepy enough because you can tell it's in a water tank in a studio, and it's over fucking lit. But they're supposed to be in water at night, and he's trying to get away from her, and she pops up, and her eyes are all white and ghostly looking, and she's probably 20 feet away, and she just starts moving like a shark towards him in the water. And I'm like, this could be a really creepy scene, but it's overlit and obviously a water tank in a studio. Right. So, yeah. It's a bad. I gave it no stars.
No stars. Wow.
It's garbage. But 2 years later in 1988, he made up for it, and he did my second favorite Wes Craven film, The Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh,
with the great Bill Pullman. You like that one?
Yeah, that was good.
That's a great one. I love voodoo movies. They rarely get them right, and that was actually based on the novel of a guy who went down and investigated voodoo, much like Bill Pullman's character. Right. And so, I mean, I'm not a student of voodoo, but it seemed right, and it seemed authentic and real. And hold on a second, where's my monkey paw?
Yeah,
I lost it.
The way he did those pin cushion dolls,
yeah, right,
voodoo dolls.
I remember I did that to a teacher once, and he was in the hospital for a week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm Jewish, and that's the last thing I have to say about it. But no, I thought, and that was a big hit too. And I thought it was a great movie, and I loved the whole. That was the tagline on the poster. Yeah. Don't bury me, I'm not dead.
Right.
Because they give him the zombie shot of whatever that is. Yeah, it's a great film. Yeah. I love it.
Very good.
Anybody who wants to see a horror movie with a little thought put into it, check out Serpent and the Rainbow. And check out Satan's Circle, hopefully in 2017.
Was that around the same time as Jacob's Ladder, or was that a little bit sooner?
Jacob's Ladder was 89, so yeah, it was the year before it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Or 90. Jacob's Ladder was 90.
Okay.
But yeah, right there. Yeah. Another thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They were both
phones are lighting up, folks.
Not necessarily like blood gushing from a bed, but more psychological, a little bit in depth. You have to do some thinking in it, which is nice because most of your horror movies now don't have that.
No, they don't. Not at all.
There's no thinking involved. It's let's see how much blood and guts and people we can kill. And
there's actually a horror movie coming out soon. Not soon, but maybe in a year or two. That it looks like it's going to be a thinking horror film. Not super deep, but like characters. It's called Satan's Circle. Little self-promotion for our film, folks.
You're actually being... He keeps... Write the script.
Yeah.
Finish the script first.
Script schmipped. If Graveyard taught us, then... Oh, yeah, I got to write the script.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Serpent and the Rainbow. Great film. I give that 4 stars. That was fantastic. Then he did, I believe I called Deadly Friend his second worst. And he fucked up again. His worst film. It's just one of the most god-awful things I've ever seen. Shocker. A lot of people like it.
Oh, yeah. It was like the cartoon of prison movies.
You're right. Mitch Pileggi of The X-Files was him, lest we forget whatever the killer's name was. I hated Shocker.
Yeah,
Did you like it?
Pretty corny.
It was so dumb.
Yeah, it was corny. The special effects were corny.
It was really bad.
Was corny.
Yeah, and especially after
the premise was kind of corny.
It was really corny. Everything was corny. But especially after the Serpent and the Rainbow, which was his first movie put out, I think it was Warner Brothers, put out by a major studio.
Yeah.
You think, and it was a big hit. Critics liked it. So you think, well, he put some money into Shocker. Nope. He went back to New Line. And no offense to New Line. And, yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
Everything I said about Deadly Friend times 10. It's just bad. It looks bad.
It's pretty terrible.
It's so dumb. It's laughable at times. Laughable. So anyway. And then, and I'm going to take flack for this because I think you like it. And I've talked to a few of our listeners that like it. He did his third worst movie in my opinion. No, that's not true. That's coming up. Just another movie I don't like. I don't hate this one, but I don't like it. The People Under the Stairs in 91. I know, and I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
What did you not like about People?
And I'm fresh because I just watched it last week.
Yeah.
It's I don't hate it, so I misspoke there. It's not his third worst movie. It's a good premise that it's over the top, but in a good way, I guess. But it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I have to compare it just for this. This is Chainsaw Massacre, the original, and Zombies, House of a Thousand Corpses, and Devil's Rejects,
You're comparing it to them?
I am.
I would think you would compare it more to like The Burbs.
Well, that too, but
House. I wouldn't. Yeah. Maybe you're trying to compare it to a little bit higher standards than it was intended to be.
Well, you're right about that. But what I mean by that is you got this crazy psycho family doing shit to the people who come in and around their house.
Mm-hmm.
And the scenes of Everett McGill, who I like, an actor I like, and who I don't know the name of the lady that played his wife's sister. That was confusing.
Yeah.
But they're, God damn it, get that bitch, and all that kind of over-the-top stuff. It didn't work there for me.
Okay.
My point was, whereas in Texas Chainsaw and the zombie films, that I dug those.
I think it was more isolated. I don't even remember. It was isolated. People weren't necessarily like, come into the house and we're going to kill you. That type of thing.
That's true.
People were God damn it. Breaking into the house because they thought they had, buttloads of cash somewhere.
Ving Rhames. I didn't know him at the time, so I didn't remember.
I don't know. I think maybe you're comparing it to a little bit different.
Maybe I'm setting its standards too high.
Different set of movies there.
But maybe that wasn't a fair comparison. But I didn't like it. That kid annoyed me.
Yeah.
Like, kill the kid. I don't usually say that. Yeah.
But I think it was more quirky. It was fun. It was a different storyline. I think that's why I get drawn to it a little bit. Was it AJ? Who's the girl in it? From AJ. What the heck's her last name? But
I don't know.
My so-called life fame. The girl.
Oh, I never liked that show either. Sorry.
Her friends. My wife is going to castrate you.
My wife almost castrated me. She owns the entire series.
Oh, so does my wife.
Yeah.
My wife considers that one of the biggest mistakes on television is canceling that film.
Oh. I thought you meant just the fact that it exists.
No, it was good. Come on.
No, it was okay. I just never got into it. It was boring.
Well, it was drama television at that time.
You know who was great? What's her nuts? Claire Danes.
Claire Danes. She's the reason it got canceled.
She is? Why? What happened?
She didn't want to do it. She wanted to go off and do Baz Luhrmann, and she was not.
That's not a bad move.
She wasn't into the whole thing that was going on, and
really?
So they canceled the show.
Hope she doesn't do that with Homeland. That's a pretty good goddamn show.
I don't know. She's gotten quite a few seasons with that one.
Yeah.
But,
yes. That's right, folks. We can go from Craven to Claire Danes and back again.
Yeah. But no, I like that actress. I thought she did good. I like the concept of the kid running through the walls. I like that.
I did like that.
He was cool.
My problem, all the kids that they kept in the walls.
Mm-hmm. Well, they only kept him in the wall. The rest they kept down in the basement.
Or in the basement. I guess the one guy.
He was the escaped one.
Yeah, you're right. But they didn't do anything. They introduced him like, and then that's it.
Yeah.
They didn't do it, or he didn't do anything with it. It's just. I mean, it was. I misspoke, folks. It's not his third worst. It's just fresh in my memory. 2.5 stars. My thumb's barely down because it's not a bad. The production value is great and it's appropriately dark in there.
Yeah, it's very dark.
And I like
but
how.
It was still comic, kind of like her room. Is set up more. Was like. What am I trying to say? If I remember right, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I want to say that her room was more kind of like the bright purples and kind of pastel colors.
I don't remember her room.
And
it kind of was. Yeah, you're
kind
right.
of like a pastel colors. It was lights, and then outside that you got the old house and the.
Did you do your chores?
The creepy windows with all the locks on it and shit. But, I don't know. It was different.
Yeah,
I think I enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't a horror movie like, Nightmare on Elm Street where, you were expecting the terrifying factor of it. But it was, I think it was, like I said, I compare it more to Burbs. The Burbs.
I can see that. It's like a
house.
It's like a dark, The Burbs.
Yeah. It was, I found it to be had a little bit more humor to it than it was to be frightening.
And you're making me feel bad about saying I don't like it.
Well, no, you could not like it.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. I just mean for Wes. It's. I can't. And there are. I've talked to 3 people. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till you do the Craven. I can't wait to hear about people under the stairs. I'm like, well, hold on, fellas. You might not like what I have to say about.
Well, hopefully I made up for it. So.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Bill's for you this week. One good thing to all you people under the stairs fans, they just Shout Factory, the great Shout Factory, just released the Blu-ray of it with a million features on it. So it's supposed to. I almost bought it before I watched it again. And I would have given it to you as a gift, probably.
I would have taken it happily.
Right. But I said, it's $3.99 in HD on demand. I said, let me check it out first, because I remember not liking it. And yeah, I don't like it. So anyway, but it was a big hit, and there you go. And then he followed that up with probably his third best film, in my opinion, New Nightmare.
Oh, yes.
What a great movie.
Oh, my Lord. From I wouldn't say a whole series of crap.
No, there's only, I think, in my opinion, there's only one crap movie in the whole Nightmare series. There's two.
There's a couple.
I'd say two, and Freddy's Dead.
I would agree with you. Yeah, because I liked 3, I liked 4. Dream Child was okay.
I like that. I like that. 4 is amazing.
After 4, I think it was a downgrade. But
it was.
With Freddy's Dead after that, it was just like...
it's horrible.
Roseanne and Tim, really?
Johnny Depp came back, too.
Yeah. But, no, it was... For a series, to me, that was going downhill, taking 2 aside, but knowing 2 a little bit more and kind of seeing some of the nuances with it, I don't hate it as much, but it definitely was not to the caliber of the first one. New Nightmare was just a blown away.
So you liked it, yeah.
Oh, New Nightmare was awesome.
It's great, though.
Yeah.
And when I first heard about that's the only other of the nightmares he directed, just by the way, folks.
Right.
And when I first heard that he was taking that road with it, I'm like, that's not gonna work.
But it needed to after
it needed to do something
making
different.
And again, he didn't direct them, but having all those Nightmare on Elm Street movies be so comical and slapsticky, and Freddy is now a comedian other than a child molester.
Yeah.
It needed to go another direction, and if they wouldn't have made some of the ones after that, I would have been extremely happy if they just would have ended it with
with New Nightmare.
A New Nightmare.
Well, that was it, minus Freddy versus Jason. That was the capper.
And then rebooting everything. And
here's the thing: Freddy vs. Jason is a shit movie. I own it. I have fun with it, but it's not a good movie, and it's 93 minutes long. I can watch it in about 45.
Yeah.
Need to go through that. There you go. Yeah. And as far as the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, terrible movie. Great performance by Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger. I thought he did wonderful, and he looked great, and he took it back to the first movie.
Yeah,
where
I agree.
It was dark and evil. He said a couple things, but they weren't like, ta-da! Waiting for a rim shot after.
Tricks are for kids.
Yeah, right. He got to where he was almost like Andrew Dice Clay, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 bitch! Yeah. But, here's the thing. I remember when I saw the remake, I said, it's all right. If you asked me about it, I couldn't tell you a goddamn thing about it. It just, it wasn't good enough to stay in my memory.
The elementary school and the secret.
I don't remember any of that.
Had like a secret room that apparently he took the kids into. And, I mean, it focused a lot more on the child molesting part of it. Yeah. And I kind of liked... The one thing I did like about it, other than his performance, was they did kind of teeter on, was he a child molester or was he not a child molester?
So at Haley or...
Yeah, Haley. Yeah. Did the parents wrongly accuse him and kill him?
Yeah, that was... Yeah.
Until you get the reveal through the end of the movie. But, no, New Nightmare. I mean, bringing back Heather Langenkamp, who I always thought was gorgeous.
She is. I saw her at a Fat Horror Festival 2 years ago. She's still good looking.
And I love the concept. I think I spoke about it before in one of the other podcasts, but my favorite scene in that whole is when she goes visit Wes Craven. at his house, and the computer screen's up, and it pans over, and it's exactly what they just said, and then fade to black, and the screen fades to black. I just thought fantastic. That was the coolest piece of writing and filming that I've seen.
And that's Craven on his game.
Yeah,
that's Craven, and that could be the coolest piece of writing he's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
That whole movie. That's fantastic. Yeah.
And that little kid who was making popular at the time. He did Pet Sematary, I believe. And, I didn't say it was a quality movie, but he did Pet Sematary.
That's one that everybody
Kindergarten
likes.
Cop. Yeah. He was getting a little bit of play.
That's right, yeah.
I think the last one...
Played her son, right?
Yeah. I think the last one he did that was actually decent was the Bruce Willis one that he did where he was autistic.
Oh, Mercury Rising?
Yeah, Mercury Rising. And I haven't seen him since, but...
Yeah.
But no, that was a great movie.
I'm trying to think of his name. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, New Nightmare was great, and it wasn't a giant hit, but it was a hit.
Well, I don't think people were expecting it. New Nightmare. Okay, we're gonna get to see Freddy doing his thing, and it was definitely more psychological than it was.
And it opened the same weekend as a little movie called Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So that stole its thunder, or a lot of its thunder. And then he followed it up with what I now say is his third worst movie. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, come on, you're an Eddie Murphy fan?
I love Eddie Murphy, which is why it was a crushing book. Wes Craven, Eddie Murphy, Vampire, Flatline. Did you like it?
I didn't like it. But again, I think he was trying, to hit that comedy beat that he was getting with people under the stairs, and he failed.
You know who would have done it justice? John Landis. Should have done Vampire in Brooklyn. Yeah. No, it was just...
Harold Ramis could have done that movie better.
Anybody else, please.
Could have given it a little bit more kick.
Except for one. Michael Bay. It was just...
a lot more explosions.
It was just... right. It was just boring.
Yeah.
The funny wasn't funny. The horror wasn't scary.
Yeah.
The script was dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's there's nothing else to say. We're sorry, Wes. We love you. But, and audiences agreed. It was a big flop.
Yeah, it was not a good film.
Then he's good at rebounding because the following year he did a little something called Scream.
And I liked Scream.
I liked Scream a lot.
When it came out, I was very impressed with it. I was finally a horror movie that actually
gets its audience.
That psychological thing again that he really had a good grasp on when he was on point.
Yeah. I love Scream. When you watch it now, because so many have been trying to be Scream, that's every in the horror genre especially. Every time something new happens, you get a decade or more of that same thing.
Right.
So everybody's self-aware now in horror movies. But it's a great film.
And he's going back to one of the one of the things that I think made him famous. The Nightmare on Elm Streets, they made over and over again and had the same kind of click that most of your horror movies were going on around that time with your Friday the 13th and Halloweens. Again, just the... Oh yeah, we have, whoever shows their boobs, ends up dead, and the prissy little, girl who's pure and clean, always is the heroine.
Yeah.
And I think it was going back to that,
but with a purpose.
But with a purpose.
Yeah.
That really worked. And I know Jamie Kennedy annoyed the piss out of you, but
not as much as Matthew Lillard.
Not as much as Matthew Lillard. Come on, man! Yeah, he was still going off his Hackers fame with that one.
Don't bring that fucking thing.
But
my wife likes Hackers.
No, I liked it. I think it was a great premise. Had that psychological, had the comedy in there, but used correctly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love the opening with Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah.
I love that little tip of the hat to the original. When a Stranger Calls. I'm about to say back. That's a sequel. When a Stranger Calls, he's in the house.
Right.
And I liked it, and he kept it appropriately. Lest we forget, you're watching a horror film. He chases her down, and he nails her with that knife over and over and over. Scream. A lot of people forget Scream's a bloody film.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of blood in Scream. I like it. It's a fun movie.
David Arquette.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying that
Dewey,
Dewey,
Deputy
Dewey, and Courtney Cox. But you had all this, bloody, I mean, she's mangled hanging on that tree when they come home, and
that's right.
Boyfriend's guts are splattered everywhere. It's a bloody film. But then you had, you kind of forget. I'm also watching a movie that has David Arquette.
Exactly.
And Jamie Kennedy and Matthew Lillard. And,
Kennedy was fine in that movie. He annoys me now, but in that movie he was fine. Yeah. I dug him. Because he was us. Mm-hmm. He was me growing up.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't that nerdy, I hope, but yeah, he was. I
but
knew
it brought
all the horror
that
problems.
funny that comedy to it of making fun of those past type movies.
Yeah. And then it happens. Yeah. And then everything happens. No, it was a big hit. It changed the horror genre. Yeah. It really did. It begat shit like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, that's true.
Disturbing behavior. And,
I Know What You Did kind of, sort of, maybe 16 years ago.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Whatever.
I love the name of the sequel to that. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm like, really? You couldn't come up with something better than that? Oh, my God.
I Know What You Did 2 summers ago.
It's like I remember the tagline to Weekend at Bernie's 2. Which I don't know why, but Weekend Bernie's 2, the tagline was, Bernie's back and he's still dead. I'm like, wow, really? Who came up with that?
Yeah.
In your little brainstorming session. But anyway, yeah.
Second Weekend with Bernie around.
Yeah. And I love the Ghostface look.
Oh, yeah.
I love the voice, the sound, whoever the voice actor who does it. It's neat. Scream is neat. My son, number 1, Giancarlo, went as Ghostface one year into Halloween when he was little. Yeah, it's a great film. And just a humongous hit. Probably bigger than anything he had so far.
Yeah.
And then he did Scream 2. Yeah, exactly. Is it a bad movie? Not really. Is it good? Yeah, not really.
Yeah, I don't think... I don't know. I don't think we needed it.
We didn't need any of them.
Yeah, we didn't need any of them.
And then he did... I can't even believe I'm getting ready to say this. This next movie. I'll give you a little hint on what the next one is. And in 99, Wes Craven directed... somebody at Miramax was saying, all right, we have a movie based on a documentary about a woman who taught violins to inner city youth in New York, based on a documentary. We've got Meryl Streep for the lead. We've got Aidan Quinn and
he directed that?
Angela Bassett. Who can we get? I know, sir. How about Wes Craven? He made that. Music of the Heart. Yeah, he made that movie.
I like that movie.
It's all right. It's like a TV movie with a great Meryl Streep.
It was Mr. Holland Opicious.
Not as good.
As good. Yeah. But it still had that heartfelt inner city.
It was fine. Yeah.
For someone who is a teacher, it was a.
That's true.
It was a great, heart uplifting. Let's actually focus on our children and add some creativity to our schools that they keep trying to take away. But I love that movie, and I had no idea that was Wes Craven.
Yeah, it's Wes Craven,
Holy cow.
Yep. It's fine. I can't say that I like it. I can't say that I don't. My thumb is sideways, my favorite phrase.
It Annette Bening? Or who was it? It was another lady.
Angela Bassett. Gloria Estefan.
Yeah. I don't know.
Who sang the vomit-inducing end-credit theme song. Yeah.
But I think we need more creativity in schools anyway. So
and Streep with me too.
Hit me a little
and
bit
more money for the teachers, folks. Get that out there. I'm sure you might agree with that.
I would.
Yeah, it's Meryl Streep is fine. I don't know. She was nominated. I don't know that she needed to be for that one. But Meryl Streep can't be bad. She was fine. Aidan Quinn was good. Whatever happened to him? I miss Aidan Quinn. I like Aidan Quinn.
He was on par there for a while. Into the fall.
It was a nice little story based on... The documentary is a better film because, of course, it's about the real person.
Benny and June.
There's another one where I'll alienate our audience. But yeah, no, it's a fine movie. Whatever. Music of the Heart.
Yeah, but you link it with... Yeah, I'm totally... dumbfounded.
Exactly. Well, what happened was they had a director. He bailed out. and it was a Miramax film. So the Weinsteins said, "Hey, Craven has had back-to-back hits for years now. Let's get him to do it. He's on the payroll." Like, all right, whatever. And he said yes because he wanted a challenge.
Yeah.
And which is good. And I don't, shame any director who wants to try a different, If George Romero said, "I'm doing a film about the Holocaust," I'm like, great, go for it. I hope it's good. Yeah. Good job. So,
I give him kudos for, not even knowing it was him.
Yeah.
He definitely changed his style on that one.
Yes, he did. That one was very well lit for a reason. They're in the daytime. Yeah.
I need to rewatch that movie. Right. I wonder if he has like any little Easter eggs in there.
I don't know. Right. Robert Englund's a janitor.
Another janitor in the background wearing it.
Oh, by the way, Wes Craven was the janitor in Nightmare on Elm Street. Remember that? No, it was Scream. He was the janitor, and there's because they go, "Hi, Fred."
Yeah, hi, Fred.
And he's dressed like Freddy. Yeah, and that's right. I just thought of that. Music in the Heart. It's fine. I don't ever need to see it again ever, but it's fine.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's with a different type of movie.
Yeah,
it's a different genre type of movie. So you don't, and that's why
Wes Craven
totally
does a basically lifestyle drama.
Yeah, exactly. It's should be on Lifetime.
And it was, and I hate this term because it's misused. Like when they say, "Oh, Diane Keaton was brave for doing a nude scene when she's in her 60s." No, she wasn't. You just don't like the fact that a 60-year-old did a nude scene. She looked fine, and it doesn't have to be brave. But he was brave to take on that because they came to him, and he was brave to say. He said, "I immediately said yes." He said it's something different, and it was brave. and at first he I looked up the trivia on it. He and Streep didn't exactly see eye to eye. Imagine that. And he's like, "Well, can you take a violin and stick it through the kid's throat?" That's what I'm used to, Meryl. But then she didn't like the way he was taking the character, and he said he wrote her a letter. Remember those days?
Yeah,
wrote her
letters.
A letter, and then mailed it to her.
Mail?
And remember that?
With
snail
a stamp?
Mail? Yeah, it was neat.
Wow.
And she read the letter, and this is Meryl Streep's words. She said, "It moved me," because he explained what he saw in this woman, because she played a real person. Can't remember her name, but and she was so moved that he wanted to show her that way, that's the way she played it. And there you go.
Well, good.
Wes Craven changed Meryl Streep's mind on how to act. I can't even believe I just said that. Right? Yeah. She's like, "Well, he did Freddy. That was pretty good, so we'll do it his way." Yeah.
Let me explain the movie to you, Meryl Streep.
Exactly.
We're going to put you on a bed with headphones on.
Yeah. And the blood is just...
as soon as you fall asleep.
I would have liked to have seen their first tiff. What's Wes Craven going to say? "Do you even fucking know what you're talking about, lady? Do you even know how to play a person?" Yeah. Anyway. And she's probably like, "Hey, get fucking zombie guy out of here." Yeah. Anyway, no.
Remember Shocker?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Shocker, you son of a bitch. I got Sophie's Choice, you bastard. My worst movie is a great Oscar-nominated film, you fucker. Yeah. Anyway. I don't think they came to that. But, Music in the Heart, it's fine. 99. Didn't do a lot of business, but got pretty much good reviews. Yeah. Anyway.
It's good.
And then he said, "What the fuck am I thinking?" And in 2000, he did Scream 3. I didn't like it.
Apparently wasn't thinking very hard.
And it's like Scream 2. It's not a bad movie. It's just
needed.
Good. Yeah, it's unnecessary.
They were trying to go into this, the studio wanted to make more money off a franchise, but then secondly, it was... trilogies. Everything has to be a trilogy now. Let's do trilogies here and there.
And it got to the point where, and that's what Jamie Kennedy talks about in the movie, the trilogy. It's always the third one where so-and-so is revealed and this and that. And it got to the point where it was just parodying its own self.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. But it was a big hit, and nobody else gave a shit.
Yeah.
And then he did, in 2005, took another 5-year break. He hadn't done that since the 70s. And in 2005, he did 2 films that I kind of enjoy. One falls apart at the end, but the first one is Cursed.
Okay.
I saw the studio cut. I gave it 1 star.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah. And Joshua Jackson. Dawson himself, I believe, right? Or was the other kid Dawson? I never watched one episode of that show.
Oh, no, I think it was the other kid. He was...
James
I never watched it either.
Dawson.
But he had another name that...
I don't know.
One of the
one of the WB handsome cusses.
Yeah, I don't know. His brother was probably better than he was.
Yeah, but it's about a legacy of werewolves.
Yeah.
And I saw the studio cut at the theater, and I hated it. I gave it 1 star. So this is another Wes Craven piece of shit. And if you watch the director's cut on, because the studio, I guess, turned on him and fucked it up.
He gets that a lot.
It's a better film. It's not a great film. I give it 3 stars. But it's way more linear. It didn't make any sense. Characters came and went in the studio cut. But Cursed, and it didn't do any box office, and I liked it. I thought it was good. I'd own it. It's a nice little movie. It's not going to change your life. You've seen it all before. But it's fun. It's a fun movie.
It's one of those movies I watched briefly because it was on.
Yeah. Did you see the...
I haven't seen it. I need to go see the studio cut.
Yeah, see the studio cut because it's better. Because I hate it. I was like, oh, this is awful. But, and my Craven complaint, he films even the dark night scenes too light. But that's just the way he does it. And then he did Red Eye, which was an okay movie.
Yeah.
With, is it Cillian Murphy?
Yeah.
He of the blue eyes. And, where was it?
Oh, yeah.
We're on a time limit today, folks. You saw it, Red Eye?
Again, briefly.
Yeah.
This kind of
he sits on a plane next to Elizabeth Banks, and your father's gonna be killed if you know. I don't even remember what. I only saw it once at the theater. I don't even remember why he's doing it, and it's kind of a cool Hitchcockian thriller. Most of it takes place on the plane, and I liked it. It falls way apart at the end. Turns into a normal chase, isn't he? Behind the next corner, behind the next door kind of thing. But I thought it was a good little movie. Nice change of pace. Doing a thriller instead of a horror thriller. Yeah, I can see you weren't that impressed by it. But
yeah, I don't think either one of those really placed a huge impression on me.
Yeah, I would own both of them. Cursed, I recommend to everyone. If you've seen Cursed or haven't seen it, find the director's cut. It might be called unrated or whatever. Right. But they put scenes back in an order.
Yeah, I'll go do that.
And it's still not a horror masterpiece, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah. Anything they, allow the director to put what his vision originally was back into a film is worth at least giving it a second shot.
And again, it won't, it's no Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's a fun little movie. And then he did in 2006 a movie that I love, Paris Je T'aime. Did you ever see that?
No.
A bunch of different directors did little 5.
Oh, I do. I own
2
that,
to 5
actually.
minute.
What am I talking about?
Oh yeah, I own that one. Little 5-minute segments, and he did the one with the. Is it Elijah Wood? No, there's a vampire in it, the Parisian vampire.
Okay. Was that
it's
Elijah
not Elijah.
Wood?
No, he's in a different
Elijah
segment.
Wood. Yeah.
I think I'm thinking because Wes filmed it in that black and white style. I'm thinking of Elijah Wood in Sin City.
Yeah.
And his segment's one of the best.
Yeah.
It's up there with the Coen Brothers segment. And it's a great film anyway.
Right.
And it's not horror except his segment, and it's not really horror.
Yeah, it's not really.
But it's all about, i.e. the title, the love of the city of Paris. And it's good. His segment's fine. And I think it's cool that he was allowed in there amongst the Coen Brothers and everybody else. Yeah, it's a good movie. Was Buscemi in his too? No, he was just in the Coen.
I can't remember.
I'd have to see it again. I've only seen it twice.
Like I said, I own it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I know my wife really, really enjoyed it a lot.
That's fantastic.
I remember it being good. So.
And then I hate to say this, he did 2 more movies before he died, and I hated them both.
You hate to say it.
I hated them both. My Soul to Take in 2010. It was trying to be a Nightmare on Elm Street without a Freddy.
Yeah.
And somebody was coming I can't remember.
That straight to video? Because I don't remember it at all.
No, Wes Craven actually in an interview said he was excited. It was a big studio movie. Mm-hmm. He said he had just come off of Paris Je T'aime, and he was on a roll. His last 2 or 3 were hits. Well, Cursed was it, and he said he was feeling good, and he got this script, and he helped rewrite it, and and it was about I don't remember exactly. It was something about every when this generation in this town when the kids hit, it's every 10 years, and somebody comes and takes the souls of the teenage, something like that.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, it was literally a Freddy movie without a Freddy, because it comes at night in your dreams. And he said, I did this big movie, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had making a movie. And he said people just stayed away, and critics hated it, and it was a big bomb and quickly forgotten. Well, it's because it's a shitty movie. It's just boring, dull. I can't tell you anything about it besides they're in the woods a lot and trying to keep their souls in their bodies. And no worries if you haven't seen it. If you want to be a Craven completist, see it.
Probably that period of time I started falling off the horror bandwagon. Because you say, what, 2010? 10, yeah. That was definitely not keeping up with horror movies around that time.
When somebody like Craven, you should go out,
you should kind of, but...
Even though that was...
But I never heard of it, so...
Yeah, well, it literally... I said when it came out, I said, I'll catch it right before it leaves. And it was gone like a week later. I'm like, whoa! Because when a movie leaves the D.C., Maryland area after a week, that really bombed. Things stick around down here. And then his last film, sadly, was Scream 4, which was trying to be Scream 1 again.
Yeah, that's all it was.
And I didn't like it. And that one I can say was not good. Like 2 and 3, they weren't bad, they weren't great, they were just unnecessary. 4 was definitely unnecessary, but it was also not a very good movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. Because, again, it was just Scream 1 with just a tiny twist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little twist, but it was Scream 1. I mean, the entire movie was basically Scream 1 from the opening to the end.
And the big opening sequence was, he tries to do those, he did it in all 3 of his Screams, the opening cool horror moment. And it was trying to be, it was awful. So the 2 babies, one of the 2 babies. Yeah, I didn't like it. It sucks that we had to end on My Soul to Take and Scream 4. Well, he ended on those, but yeah, that's so.
Maybe I'll have a script out there somewhere that they'll discover something
and hey, I'm not saying our film is gonna rewrite horror history, but yeah, My Soul to Take and Scream 4 is no way you want to end a career, man. Jesus. And I'm sure he wasn't planning on ending his career that way, but...
no, like anybody, really.
I don't think he even made public that he had brain cancer until he died. I didn't know. Poor Wes. Here's the thing, and people are probably saying, damn, Anthony, do you have anything good to say about Wes Craven? I mean, I've liked at least 6 of his movies, 7 of his movies,
That's not bad.
And he's certainly more than earned the... Master of Horror title.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is one.
Oh, he's
for better or worse.
Given us some great characters that are still resonant today.
Yeah.
Freddy, everybody knows. Like I said before, everybody knows who Freddy is.
Yeah, and then you don't even have to say Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
You say Freddy.
Yeah, they know who that is. Yeah. People are familiar with the Scream. And, the ghost face, whatever. You don't really have to say much about that either.
Which, by the way, real quick, I forgot to mention this. Man, I really do need new glasses. It's terrible. Like you're in clear. Sorry, folks, I'm getting used to new glasses. When they were location scouting for Scream, they hadn't had the mask yet, and they found the house that they were using as Heather Langenkamp, whatever's house. Can't even remember her name.
Heather Langenkamp.
No, I mean in the movie.
Oh, Nancy.
Nancy, thank you. And they were upstairs in an attic taking a tour of this old couple's house.
Yeah.
And they saw this box, and there was stuff hanging out of it, and there was a mask. And Craven looked, and he said, "Can I look at that mask? And can I buy this from you?" And they said, "Yeah." And then they had to. It was a mask that was made sometime in the late 50s, early 60s. And of course, they redid it made a new one for the movie. But he said they spent almost 4 months. And they need to get ready to film, tracking down the manufacturer and the rights to that mask. And then they finally found it and bought the rights. And so
it's not based on the Scream from, was it Monet? Not Monet. Who am I thinking of?
I know what you mean.
Edward...
But no, it's not.
What the hell's his
Albee?
name? No.
He's a writer. Sorry.
Monk. Edward Monk.
I don't know. I'm not.
I thought it was always based on that poster Scream, because I mean the face, a little altered.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was based on that.
I could see that. Yeah, I didn't know what the hell it was.
And
but
hence
no,
the word,
just,
title Scream. I thought it was all kind of connected to that.
Yeah, just a couple of old folks had an old mask.
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
And they spent months trying to track down the rights. They got it. And now it's iconic. I hear there's a Scream TV series that he produced.
Oh, yeah.
It's going into season 2 now. I'll never watch it.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
And I hear there's a new It's on MTV. That tells you everything
you
need to know.
I've been away from MTV.
Yeah.
Stopped actually having music videos.
It should just be called TV now.
It should.
There's a channel called TV.
They should change the M to an R, and it should just be reality TV.
They should have you know what their promo should be now? A bunch of modern rock musicians saying, "I don't want my MTV."
Yeah, I don't want my MTV.
I miss those days.
Yeah.
The 80s. Great horror, great MTV, great music. Oh my God. Wes Craven at his best.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, he is a horror master. I've liked less than I've not liked, but the ones I've liked were really good, so. I don't know. What do you have to say about old Wes?
No, I think I can't really add too much more to it. I think he has a lot of crap, which a lot of directors do. But I think when he was on point, he was on point, and I think those characters and those movies will continue to be classics. And if and when I ever get into the business of making movies,
take the if out. I used to say if and when, and then I realized I can't keep saying if.
Yeah,
I have to say when.
If I go, I think he has a good legacy behind him. I would be happy having.
I'd be happy having his legacy as well. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think you can say much. I think he, like you said, he earned his title as a master of horror, and I think his characters will continue to. People will always remember them. So
yeah, and he seemed like this in interviews, but everybody said he was like the nicest, sweetest guy. And Meryl Streep.
Well, he looked like a college professor.
Yeah, well,
you look at him, he looked like a college professor.
Yeah.
So.
Meryl Streep even said when she met him, because I was talking to old Meryl about him the other day. Yeah, no, in an interview, Meryl Streep said that when she met him, she was nervous because she says, "Oh, this guy that made all these horror movies that." Bloody. She said, "There's this guy. He's in a sweater vest and a sports jacket. He's chewing on a lozenge. And he shakes her hand, calls me Miss Streep, and And she said, but everybody because this is even before he died. Everybody always said he's never a grump on set. He's always very sweet and very kind and soft spoken. And you don't think that about horror people. Because, you see John Carpenter, he's just a good old boy from Kentucky, like my dad, who likes horror movies and makes them. He smokes and drinks, and likes heavy metal music. And George Romero, he's like a maniac, a good one, but he's always like, yeah, man, and we did this, man. But I guess Craven was just kind of, hey, man, let's make a movie.
Let's make a movie.
Let's do it. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add.
No, not really.
My favorite film of his, I guess, definitely Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, I don't think you can
I bought the
say
whole,
anything other than that.
I'm going to do it this year. I didn't do it last year. I bought the Blu-ray box set. I'm going to watch them all this October and have some fun with it. And now after the show, I can't wait to get to New Nightmare. I've probably actually only seen that 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice at the theater and then once when it hit. Remember this, folks? VHS. And I don't think I've seen it since the 90s.
Yeah, I haven't watched it for a while, but I know I've seen it quite a few times.
And I'm a big fan. Nothing against it. That's one I have to wait. I'm ready and in the mood. And in my Nightmare on Elm Street a-thon that I will have, I would like to jump over to, but I won't.
Yeah.
Because I can't do that. My mind doesn't work that way.
It was an interesting concept. Yeah, the studios kind of screwed him over with that whole thing. But it was interesting to see a movie with a male protagonist, other than your typical female.
Wait, which? New Nightmare?
No, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Or Nightmare on Elm Street? 2. Oh yeah,
2.
It was. Yeah.
Because you had the male Scream Queen instead of the female.
And that was
Scream King.
And that was the one where he was ambiguously gay.
Yeah, I mean you can kind of. Yeah, it was definitely.
By the way, to this day, in my opinion, and I'm talking making of documentaries of Star Wars, of Kubrick movies, of the best making of documentary I've ever seen is the one about the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series, Never Sleep Again.
Really good.
It's almost 3 hours long. You've seen it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. They break down every movie.
Yeah,
from script to post-production, box office. They talk to all the cast members that they can. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the guy who played the protagonist in 2 is gay. And he talks about it. He said, I didn't really see it back then. And then they show all the scenes of the ambiguously gay moments. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of gay.
Which is fine.
And we have no problem with that on this podcast.
And I think that was probably why people had problems with it during that period of time. I think they were expecting something totally different and subconsciously not realizing what their issue was.
This dude's gay! Yeah. And that was before it was fully accepted.
Yeah. And I think that subconscious kind of going through people's head was kind of like, I don't like it.
Craven hated it.
I don't know
he said
about
that's the only one he hates. Yeah, right. Yeah. Something about the scenes with the guy I hated. I'm not digging.
But it was an interesting concept because you really don't get that
male protagonist in a horror film.
Yeah. It's always a female. It has to be a female. It has to be, it's always the
and
girl
they get one and he's a queer. No, you're right. That probably turned people off.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to go back and watch it again. I remember totally hating it. But
I did. And
I
remember
still hate it, but
I couldn't
go back and
I'll
check
hate
it
it
out.
too. I might fast forward a little through that. I remember when it came out, I was dying, as we all were, and my dad took me and my buddy, and he's like, God, you guys like that? And we were like, no.
Yeah,
that was terrible. And I remember all those years, I couldn't put my finger on why that's the one that I hated.
Yeah.
Something just felt off. It felt wrong.
Yeah.
And Craven, of all people, summed it up in that documentary. He said, Freddy's in your dreams, man.
Right.
That's what makes him frightening. The scene where he comes out of the pool when they're having a cookout and he's running around chasing people, he's like, then that takes all the whatever away from him. Yeah. You know? Now he's just a dude running around, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you. Can you get away? But the thing, and that's, I could never put my finger on it, and imagine that. Wes Craven could. You took him, what's frightening about him is he's in your dreams. Right. He's in your mind, and you bring him into a pool party, and he's just a silly dude running around. Yeah.
Who's that crazy bastard coming out of the pool?
Who invited this asshole? Yeah. Coming out of the pool like a fucking asshole. Right. Oh, but since we're talking about it, and I'm sure we'll do this again, so I won't elaborate. In a few weeks, we'll talk about the Nightmare series, I'm sure. But I really like part 3, even though that's when it got nuts. The big Freddy head. That was a little much. Lawrence Fishburne, when he was still Larry. The Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
Dream Warriors. I love 4. That's my third favorite.
Again, great premise.
Yeah. Dream Child's good. Freddy's Dead's not good, but doesn't suck like part 2. Yeah. And then New Nightmare is the second best one. Yeah. Wes Craven, he didn't direct the sequels except New Nightmare, but he created this.
He created,
like I said, New Line, the house that Freddy built. You know, like he created this character that just went on and on. It's eye rolling to think that, like we spoke earlier, child molester. Don't put him on a lunchbox. But hey, you know what? Kids dressing up as Freddy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, no, he was a master of horror. He did enough for me to agree with that. I was scared when we did this show, when we were going to do this show, before I watched things. I'm like, oh shit, what do I have to talk about minus a couple? But I'd forgotten about, I like Red Eye, and I'd forgotten about Serpent and the Rainbow, how much I loved that movie until I was listing his movies. Oh shit! And really, in retrospect, Scream was a great movie. It's just been hammered to death, so it's not as fresh as it was. But that's all I have to say about Mr. Wes Craven. Rest in peace. I wish he was still around to go. Give us one more good one, buddy.
Get that one good one before he left us.
Yeah, but he left us with Scream 4, so.
Yeah. But you can't look at it that way. He left us with Scream 4.
No, I know.
He left us with... How many movies you got on your list
That's a good point. He left us with Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare. Yeah, you're right. No, I touche, sir. You're right. I shouldn't have said that. He left us with a damn good, sometimes great body of horror work.
That's a good way to work.
And
he left us with a body of work.
He did.
He has his moments and he had his falls, but he left us with a rather good body of work.
In my top 10, because there are very few filmmakers that are horror directors, like genre. They've done a couple horror films and then they do these, but he's in my top 10 because he's done enough. Yeah, Carpenter's always number one.
Well, of course,
we'll get to that in a few weeks as well. So that's our Wes Craven podcast episode.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Mr. John Carpenter. Mr. John Carpenter.
Whoa.
What?
No. Let's not kill Carpenter yet. Holy shit.
Where's my brain at the moment? Mr. Wes Craven.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Wow.
I recommend everybody go out and see the good ones.
Yeah.
You know what? See the bad ones too. Just see it all.
See it all.
Enjoy Shocker and Deadly Friend.
Yeah,
folks.
maybe someone out there will like Shocker.
And we usually throw out a lost treasure. It's not really a lost treasure because it was a hit, but a lot of people either haven't seen it these days, haven't seen it, or don't remember it. Check out Serpent and the Rainbow. Again.
Oh yes,
it's a fucking great movie, and some people are even like you with Music of the Heart. Oh fuck, Wes Craven did Serpent and the Rainbow? Yeah. It's a good movie. Check it out. Real quick, last thing. Your favorite Wes Craven movie that is not A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is not A Nightmare on Elm Street.
For me, it's Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh yeah, that's a hard one for me. If I really had to pick one, honestly, I'd probably go with The People Under the Stairs.
Okay.
From the body work. If I can't pick either Nightmare on Elm Street or A New Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmares, because those are the pinnacle, and we know that.
Right. Then I would definitely probably go with People Under the Stairs. Probably slightly above Scream, the original Scream.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah. All right.
All
right. Well, rest in peace, Wes Craven. The horror world entire mourns you.
And what was yours? Did you say that out loud?
Surfing bird. Serpent and the Rainbow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's my.
Right.
I mean, again, Nightmare, the pinnacle.
Right.
Serpent and the Rainbow is my favorite.
That's a really, really good one.
It's very good.
I guess maybe we should end it with the
classy.
That's all, folks.
We can end it because we can't speak no more. All right. Well, everyone, check out some Wes Craven, and the Facebook page has been a little quiet lately.
Yes, very quiet.
So let us know your favorite. Jesus,
what's up with
goodbye,
us today?
Folks.
Just goodbye.
Let us know your favorite Craven movies. Let us know if I'm wrong about his worst movies. I don't think I am. and yeah, just let us know. A special shout out to Emily Barrios. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. She's a huge horror fan. She was looking forward to this podcast. We will have her on a Skype guest in a later podcast. She's from Louisiana.
All right.
And she's a gigantic horror fan. She's has a horror group. Everybody go to it. Check it out. I think I put you in it.
Yeah.
Let's talk horror films. Let's talk horror movies.
No, you might not have.
Oh, okay, I need to.
You need to.
So Bill will be joining that group. But Emily was waiting on this show. And so, yeah. Emily, shout out to you. Definitely post your favorites. I already know her favorite. She already mentioned it. Post your non-Freddy favorites, everyone. And in a few weeks, sometime mid-October, we'll be having Tiffany
Sisman
on to discuss horror and cheesy movies. And
some we'll
have a small horror break in October because we must discuss Flash Gordon.
Yes.
So. All right, so that's it. Wes Craven, R.I.P. And I have no quip.
No quip.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm Bill, and as always, see you.
See ya. How do you stop this thing? There's my quip.